A very good evening and welcome to this Sunday's edition of News First Weekend. I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka. Let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines this evening.
President graces the closing ceremony of the National Sports Festival in Jaffna. Sri Lanka's doors open to investors from New Zealand. Chronic water shortage in 7 districts. People on the streets look out for water bowsers. Shooting in Athurugiria. Police opened fire on a suspect who attempted to hurl a hand grenade.
The closing ceremony of the National Games was held this evening at the Durayappa Stadium in Jaffna under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
Chief Minister of the Northern Province, C.V. Vigneswaran, was also in attendance at the closing ceremony of the National Games held under the patronage of the President. Sports and music are universal languages among the entire global human community. A sports ground is a place where all people can come together. For several years now, Sri Lankan athletes have been displaying their skill on this sports ground. Today, the sportsmen and women participated in this event as representatives of 9 provinces. There is no problem whatsoever if the 9 provinces are divided on the basis of sports. At the same time, it is alright if the 9 provinces are divided on the basis of bringing development to the country and to strengthen production and manufacturing. We must do everything as one country. We talk about 9 provinces, but who gave us 9 provinces? We did not give ourselves 9 provinces. It was not given by the post-independence rulers of the country. The 9 provinces were given by King George in England, so we do not need to fight over the 9 provinces created by King George. They split the country into 9 provinces at the time for their convenience. The 9 provinces were split by the Colebrook-Cameron Commission in 1833. In 1833, Colebrook and Cameron first divided this country into 5 provinces. By 1890, it had been further split into 9 provinces. I ask, why are we fighting over these provinces?
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe met with Sri Lankan expatriate community in New Zealand. Prime Minister Wickremesinghe, who is on a 4-day official tour of New Zealand, met the Sri Lankan expat community at the Mount Albert War Memorial Hall in Auckland.
One thing I learned from New Zealand is that, like Sri Lanka, you are committed to a strong social policy. Virtually, we will both be having, like Germany, a social market economy. And that's what we are also now planning to build here. We committed ourselves at the last election to build a highly competitive social market economy. So in this environment, we thought first, we should all be together. If Sri Lanka has to be put into order, we have to work together.
The Prime Minister then took part in a question and answer session with the audience. A youth questioned the Premier on the next presidential election.
We still haven't decided whether the President is to be elected by the House. We are talking of having a Senate, or by the Parliament and the Senate, or whether by Parliament, Senate or the Provincial Council. Because we are doing away with the executive presidency, and how we are going to elect the President, we still have to decide, but these are the 3 options.
Following his meeting with the Sri Lankan expatriate community, Prime Minister Wickremesinghe addressed the Sri Lanka-New Zealand Business Council at the Centre for Trade and Enterprise in Auckland. In his address, Prime Minister Wickremesinghe extended an invitation to the business community to seize the opportunity to invest in Sri Lanka, which is transforming to the financial hub of the Indian Ocean.
One reason that we have come here with a large delegation is to further expand the commercial side of our relationship. When Prime Minister John Key came to Colombo last February, we discussed the opportunities for New Zealand companies to come into Sri Lanka. Just as much as we talked of what Sri Lankan companies can do here in New Zealand. Now we will open missions, one in Colombo for New Zealand and the other here for Sri Lanka. For both our countries have to find new markets and new products. If we are looking at new areas where we could certainly, which would be open up to the private sector, or where the private sector would find new opportunities. Certainly, many opportunities for those in New Zealand, big and small, to come into Sri Lanka.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe thereafter visited the Auckland Zoo, which is now home to Anjali, an elephant calf which was gifted by President Maithripala Sirisena to New Zealand Prime Minister John Key during his visit to Sri Lanka in February last year. People in 7 districts affected by the drought complain that the distribution of drinking water through bowsers is taking place in an arbitrary manner.
The water sources of many villages in the districts of Polonnaruwa, Battikalo, Trincomalee, Kilinochchi, Vaunia, Monoragala, Ratnapura and Kurunegala have dried up. 51,561 families that are directly affected by the drought engage in a daily struggle to obtain water that is being distributed by bowsers. The bowser has not come for 2 days. We pay the bill to the water board on time every month. We pay the bill and suffer without water.
These small children have never seen water coming out from taps in the afternoon. They love to see how water comes out of taps.
Drought conditions are a seasonal occurrence in these areas and can last for 4 months or longer. In this backdrop, why are the authorities not prepared to face the situation? It is not about preparation. Our country feels the effects of global warming. When compared to other times, the drought has become a huge problem. The government has been providing water through different water supply systems over the past. All what we have to do is use water without any wastage. We don't have any other solution. Politicians come to us only when there is a drought. Other than that, they never visit us. This is not something we can do all by ourselves. We can resolve this issue only if the Irrigation Department, the Water Supply and Drainage Board, Department of Agricultural Services and the Mahaveli Development Authority come together. According to the 36-hour forecast issued by the Met Department, many parts of the country will not experience any rain. If the dry weather conditions persist, can a continuous drinking water supply be ensured? We supply water through bowsers. Consumers in mountainous areas and in the upcountry do not receive water due to the low pressure. We supply water for them as well. To balance both, we have to limit the water supply to our consumers. That is why we supply a limited amount of water. We are not disrupting the supply of water but controlling it. So we request that the consumption of water be limited until the drought season is over.
The Khandakati and Kiranakati areas in Bhadulla have become the latest victims of wildfires which have claimed thousands of acres of forest land across the centre of the island. More than 5,000 acres of the country's forest cover has already been lost to the flames.
A large portion of a pepper plantation was reduced to ashes by a blaze that broke out in the Vasanagama area in Khandakati, Bhadulla. The fire quickly spread over a 3-acre area.
The fire which broke out yesterday has seriously damaged pepper plantations in the area. In the past week alone, close to 1,000 acres in the Bhadulla district have gone up in flames. Legal action has not been taken against anyone. If legal action had been taken, it would be a deterrent against these arsonists. Since this has not been done, such actions are continuing. Close to 4 acres have been destroyed. We cultivated this over 3.5 years. This would have been worth about 1 or 1.5 million rupees. Now we have to start from scratch.
Our correspondent noted that the pepper plantations span about 10 acres. Meanwhile, a 10-acre area in Kiranakati, Vasanagama has been reduced to ashes by a forest fire. Our reporter noted that the fire has consumed a section of the Kiranakati reserve and another pepper plantation.
Farmland in Polonnaruwa has been damaged by wild elephants who have been driven towards human settlements as a result of the dry weather.
Area residents claim that wild elephants are encroaching on villages in Polonnaruwa with increasing frequency due to the dry weather conditions. Farmers have been severely inconvenienced by elephants trampling through farmland in the Nikahene area in Madirgiriya. Our reporter says that such incidents are more frequently witnessed in villages bordering forest reserves. Families have been affected by wild elephant incursions. Area residents say that more and more wild elephants are encroaching on villages as the Nikahena reservoir has dried up.
There isn't any water here. We find water from wells and we earn what we can and live. We work all day in the fields and then we stay up all night worrying because the elephants come and destroy everything in their path. We went and made complaints to the wildlife office. They gave us equipment to chase the elephants away and that is all. They destroyed about 10 coconut trees. Come to our village and see the destruction. The elephants run amok due to the lack of water.
You're with News First. The Business Times reported today that the 5.2 billion rupee profit recorded by Perpetual Treasuries in the year ending March 2016 was higher than the year-end profit after tax of 5 major commercial banks in the country. And the report further highlights that the unusual profits earned by the rookie primary dealer implicated in the central bank bond scams is almost 100 times more than the profit earned by their nearest and more experienced competitor.
The paper says that the company, owned by the son-in-law of former central bank governor Arjuna Mahendran, made a killing compared to a low post-tax profit of 57 million rupees by Capital Alliance, one of Perpetual Treasury's competitors. Perpetual Treasury's 5.2 billion rupee post-tax profit is higher than the post-tax profits reported for the same time of DFCC Bank with 4.3 billion rupees, Ceylon Bank with 3.8 billion rupees, NDB with 3.5 billion rupees, NTB with 2.6 billion rupees, PABC with 1 billion rupees and Union Bank with 192.6 million rupees. Incidentally, Perpetual Treasuries only received its license as a primary dealer in 2013. According to the paper, certain primary dealers are frustrated by the fact that authorities are not looking into the matter. The matter was raised at a press briefing held at the central bank last week.
It's a publicly quoted company. Presumably they have an auditor who will audit, and our people do as a regular, as a matter of course, they supervise and examine the primary dealers. If they see something untoward, obviously we will take action. But as part of our normal supervision and normal examination of primary dealers, if something is found, clearly we would take action.
Over to you for denial or action.
Police have shot at a suspect who attempted to hurl a hand grenade at a group of police officers in Athurugiria.
The police officers had attempted to apprehend the suspect, who is a resident of Athurugiria, this morning. Police say that officers shot at the suspect's hand when he attempted to hurl a hand grenade at them, following which the suspect had fled the scene.
They said that there was a complaint against him, that he did not turn up at the police station, that he was playing hide and seek with the police, and that he attempted to attack them with knives and machetes when they tried to apprehend him. How can a boy who was in the bathroom hide knives and machetes? It was the police that had the knife. They shot at the boy and he fled. The knife was on the table. They had it in their hands when I came in. The boy had a larger wound on his hand than one which would have been inflicted by a knife. If my son was hurled a bomb at the police, then it would have exploded, shouldn't it? The knife was graduated to a bomb. The police brought the knife with them. My son was there with a large wound on his hand. The police had plenty of opportunity to catch him then. The police must have planned this. Even the person who used the weapons was in civil attire.
While a search was underway for the suspect as of this evening, he has not been taken into custody as yet. The police say that the suspect is wanted in connection with several crimes.
The government, the 100 Days Initiative, contributed to the effort to building a knowledge-based society today.
The Gammadda 100-Day Initiative. With the people, for the people.
3 decades of conflict have battered the village of Tambalagamua in Trincomalee. When the fires of war were finally doused, even the books used by these children were naught but ruins. Today, a neglected building was transformed into a library through the Gum at the 100-day initiative, contributing to propagating knowledge among our society. The renovated public library in Thambalagamuwa was declared open today under the auspices of Nidra Veerasinghe, Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited. The books in this library will enrich the minds of 400 children from 3 schools in the area.
We believe that no matter what difficulties and hardships you face, we can together do something about it rather than nothing. That is why public service has been a part of the Capital Maharaja Organisation's DNA for many years. This is the reason the staff, especially at Newsfirst, have worked tirelessly over many months on a voluntary basis, while performing their official duties to ensure that these initiatives brought to us by the public have been completed through this 100-day Gum at the program.
To feel so glad to see the people's faces of happiness instead of tears and sorrow. I am 86 years old and I have been a doctor for 60 years. So you children can also follow good examples and do the same for this country. We are all the same in every way, except if you don't get educated, you are not the same.
It is a happy day for you today. I am extremely happy that I am able to confer this library onto you as the first of the projects entrusted to me under the Gum at the 100 Days initiative.
The distribution of books and tree planting campaign undertaken parallel to the Gum at the 100-day initiative also got underway in Thambalagamuwa. The 148th Gum at the Savio branch was established in Thambalagamuwa, Trincomalee today. The foundation stone for a drinking water project in Gunawardhanapura, Moravava in Trincomalee was laid today.
The Gum at the 100-day initiative. With the people, for the people.
The Janata Vimukti Peramuna exposed the wealth of a few former ministers during an event held in Hinguragoda yesterday.
It's been a year since his government came to power, hasn't it? More will be seen in the time to come. There is massive wastage. It is not just these people, but also those before them. How much waste happened during their tenure? Take the issue of Mahindananda. When he started off, he had no property whatsoever. But today, he has property worth more than 800 million rupees. He has 6 houses, 5 in Sri Lanka and 1 in London, inclusive of all the lands. Rohit Abe Gunawardhan has property worth 450 million. I cannot understand how he got it though. Namal Rajapaksa and Yoshita have a similar case. Their property are being found one after the other. It was during this process that they came across a grandmother of theirs who resides in Dehiwala. Even she has property. Yoshita is saying that land isn't his. And so is Namal Rajapaksa. Then it has to be Daisy's, doesn't it? But Daisy has said something remarkable to the police. She said that some unknown person had appeared out of nowhere and gifted a sack of gems, and a week later another person had come and given a couple of bags of money and took away the bag of gems. These are fortunate grandmothers. Even we would be successful if we had grandmothers like Daisy. Then we have Basil Rajapaksa. When police conducted investigations, he said that neither the land in Kaduvela nor the land in Mathura belongs to him. So both were taken over. Now there is another plot of land in the Gampha district which belongs to Basil. And now the government is going to take over that plot of land too. Why? Because Basil says that too does not belong to him.
Minister of Social Empowerment and Welfare Smriti Sanaikar plans on promoting a bamboo bank saving system among the children of the country. The minister made this observation while addressing a function at the Hangurankata Divisional Secretariat organized to distribute scholarships.
When we go to schools, we see that the children's shoes are broken. Their toes are sticking out of their shoes. Some have tattered socks. It is for this reason that we created this fund. A Buddhist bhikkhuni in Thailand has created a fund worth millions. It is known as Bamboo Bank. I told the divisional secretary to call this the Bamboo Bank. Bamboo Bank means making a small till with a piece of bamboo. This till is kept everywhere. Anyone can put coins into it, and once a month these tills will be broken and the money from the tills will be added to the fund. All of your children can send a letter to the divisional secretary via your principals and make a lovely bamboo till.
Today is World Heart Day. The national celebration of the day was held under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena today with the goal of creating awareness among the public on cultivating and practicing healthy lifestyle habits for a healthy heart and life.
40% of the deaths in Sri Lanka are caused by heart-related diseases. Doctors point out that unhealthy lifestyle and food habits are causing the probability of heart diseases to rise. Titled Heart Walk, to create awareness among the public on the prevention of heart diseases, the event was organized by the Sri Lanka Heart Association. This is a program initiated by the Sri Lanka Heart Association. We are currently holding a few discussions on how to prepare your life to cure your heart and create a healthy heart. President Maithripala Sirisena awarded prizes to the winners of the inter-school poster competition, which was held in line with World Heart Day.
On the first of a two-part series, yesterday we highlighted the possible international relations built during the prehistoric period. The following is the second part of the series on a quest for clues on prehistoric life.
What was the transition or transformation that took place from the Stone Age to the great civilizations? This is a very blurry part in Sri Lankan prehistory. Excavations have proved that this did not take place at once, but was a period where the most important transitions had taken place. Professor Raj Somadeva brought to life a new theory on the certain markings on the cave walls.
In this rock boulder, you have pitted marks, several pitted marks here, so small holes. They engraved on the surface of this rock boulder. Normally archaeologists think that this practice signifies the expression of their thinking, especially monitoring the time, seasons and so on. So this type of evidence urged to think that the people who inhabited this cave had a motivation to cultivate more cultural ideas and more sophisticated pattern of thinking towards civilization.
He also believes that the flat surface rock with markings on it is a clear indicator of the calculation capabilities of the prehistoric man. This discovery made out of clay depicts something that looks like the head of an animal. The discovery baffled the research team, as no such discovery was ever made in the history of Sri Lankan archaeology. The grain seeds and shells discovered from the cave bed give a better understanding on the eating patterns of the prehistoric man that lived in this cave called Alugalge.
So we earlier thought our beginning of our history is an implantation of North Indian culture. So now we have to change this idea slightly different manner. So now we know, except that colonization process, so something happened prior to that colonization event. That is that it signifies the basic interaction movement occurred between the prehistoric hunter-gatherers and the people who are inhabited in the valley area who practiced agriculture.
Researchers believe that Alugalge is located along the contour of transformation from the hunter-gatherer to the great civilization. The objective of this research is to understand what behavior did the prehistoric man let go and what did he include into his life. There are many empty spaces in the history of Sri Lanka, including its early historic life. And the quest of filling those spaces has been undertaken by the archaeologists in this country. And we at Newsfirst will follow this journey. We cannot be certain for sure where this quest will take us next, but one thing is certain: we will come back with more details of our early prehistoric life and our early ancestors. For the Newsfirst team, with Laknuwan Warnakulasuriya and Rantika Hetcharachi, I'm Zulfiq Farzan, reporting from Alugalge in Balangoda.
The 42nd National Sports Festival drew to a close today at the Duraiappah Stadium, Jaffna, with some stellar performances from the Western Province. The Western Province contingent won their 18th consecutive overall championship at the Games.
The festival, which was held in Jaffna for the very first time, saw the participation of athletes from all 9 provinces in the island. The closing ceremony was held today under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena. KSL Wickramasinghe from the Southern Province was adjudged the fastest athlete at the competition. Wickramasinghe won the men's 100 meters event today with a time of 10.6 seconds. Meanwhile, SL Vidanadurige from the Uber province was adjudged the fastest female athlete, winning the women's 100 meters with a time of 11.9 seconds. MIM Miss 1 from the Eastern province, who won the men's long jump with a leap of 7.2 meters, was adjudged the best sportsman. Nimali Lianarachi, who set a new Sri Lankan record in the women's 800 meters, was adjudged the best sportswoman. 4 new Sri Lanka records and 3 new tournament records were set at the Games this year. With a total of 105 medals, the Southern Province contingent emerged runners-up. The Western Province won the overall championship for the 18th consecutive time with 113 gold medals and a total of 254 medals.
The boys' finals of the Inter-School Shakespeare Drama Competition, commonly known as Shakes, presented by the Colombo YMCA and the Rotary Club of Colombo North, was held last evening.
Royal College Colombo, Wesley College, St. Peter's College and St. Joseph's College made up the 4 finalists. All 4 plays in the finals were extracts from the Shakespearean tragedy Julius Caesar. Defending champions St. Joseph's College Colombo kicked off the competition with their excerpt. St. Peter's College Colombo portrayed a more contemporary version of the play. Unlike the other excerpts, Royal College Colombo brought to life a rendition of the play which portrays the politics which arises following the murder of Caesar, which was praised by the judges. Wesley College Colombo then performed a unique rendition of the play which was also praised by the judges as a perfect wrap to the evening. Wesley College's Tariq Jurampathy was adjudged the best actor for this year's competition for his portrayal of Brutus. Devinder De Silva of St. Peter's College was awarded the Best Supporting Actor trophy for his portrayal of Caskar. While all 4 plays received high praise from the judges, St. Peter's College Colombo were adjudged champions of the Inter-School Shakespeare Drama Competition. Royal College Colombo emerged runners-up. Wesley College and St. Joseph's College emerged 2nd and 3rd runners-up respectively.
A 12-foot-long python caused a stir in Valikanda, Matale today. The serpent was in the process of devouring a deer it had just ensnared when its meal was interrupted by area residents. Newsfirst correspondent A.R. Arulingam was at hand to capture these images. And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Weekend Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.
Marina.